Abby, thank you very much for letting us come in and look at all your stuff and talk to you about your work.
Oh, my pleasure.
So to get things started, could you tell us a little bit how you got started as an artist and how you came to work with all this great stuff here?
Well, I got started as a ceramic artist sort of by accident, and a friend of mine had a potter's wheel in her basement, and one day I just sort of on a whim asked if I could go down and play around with it, and went down there in the morning, came out after dark that day, went back the next day, and so on and so on. I just got really, you know, sort of fell head over heels in love with pottery.
Oh.
And my husband and I bought the property up here, and we started thinking about building a house, and we were browsing through a bookstore. I found a book on architectural ceramics, and it was just like an arrow to the heart. It was just one of those moments where you're like, wow.
So Abby, I see a lot of cool stuff here on the table. Would you mind going through each of your pieces and telling me a little bit about each one of them?
Yeah, of course. These are house numbers. I designed them so that the customer, the client, can sort of have fun and play with them. So for instance, like these ones could go up and down, or just this way. They can also stack like that. So this piece is a garden stepping stone. It's part of a series I did. I have a couple of insects, a couple of flowers, a bunch of different compasses that all look similar but have different color schemes, and some birds. And they're just designed to go out in your garden. I'm an avid gardener, and I've also had people request those specific pieces. They can also be customized with people's family names on them, or any kind of message, I suppose,
cool.
too. I did a series of house hangings. They can be either used indoors or outdoors. You could put it on your shed, or you could have it in your home somewhere. So,
great colors.
Yeah, thanks. There's this is like the triple houses. And then I have also like the big house.
And the single big house.
The single big house, yeah. And they're all hand painted and handmade.
Yeah.
And
I love these. They would make great housewarming gifts.
yeah, absolutely.
So Abby, you have to tell me about these planters. They're just so cool looking, beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they're part of my love of the outdoors and gardening again. They're all hand coiled there's a slab base, and then I coil the top parts, and then I come back and I incise or add on to create the design, and they're all hand painted.
Can we see this closer?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, and they can either be used indoors or outdoors. There's holes in the bottom for drainage, and yeah, and this one here is it's a blue heron or gray heron. It's a heron. Yeah, I was so surprised when I moved out here to find that these water birds actually are pretty prevalent in Colorado too. So I always thought they were sort of more marshy, but you do see them around here quite a bit. So, and I just love them. So yeah.
Very nice.
That's that one.
And what's this colorful one?
This is just sort of I was playing around a little bit with Art Deco theme. So it's less representational, just a more of a design.
Fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Can we get that one up here too?
Sure.
Move this one back. Yeah, this colors really pop. That's great.
So I have one more planter in the kiln if you want to come help me unload it.
Great.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a colorful version. It's like the full color version of the heron
Beautiful.
planter.
Look at that.
Oh, thanks.
Abby, I love this piece. I know you have a series of mirrors, and this looks like the universe to me. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, well, this is it's our solar system minus Pluto,
Okay.
and the symbols are the ancient Greek symbols for each planet that's on the different planets, and here's the Earth and the Moon, and I think I got into this just because I'm like a huge fan of science fiction and space exploration, and plus I just find I find the solar system and the universe in general so fascinating, and it seemed like it would be a great sort of theme for a mirror. So
yeah,
that's sort of where this one
very
comes
cool.
from.
Saturn's ring down there.
Right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you love sunflowers, I know.
Yeah.
And so this is a little sunflower mirror.
Yeah, I have a larger version, but I need something smaller, so I made a smaller version of it, and it's basically just looks like that.
Love it.
Well, thanks. I'll just save these guys for later. And basically, I do like front and back. Kind of clean it up. And the sort of general idea is just to make it look as natural and organic as possible. And I've left the outline of where my final cut is going to go, but I leave a little extra clay so that I have somewhere to mush everything into, and I don't end up kind of mashing my edge too much.
So besides all this cool work you have here, I understand that you also do public work that you're commissioned to do. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, it's a couple of years ago I was commissioned to do a public art piece for the Orchard at Westminster. It was at that time a shopping center that was under construction in Westminster, Colorado. And that actually led to them asking me to do a second piece for them too, which was more of an interactive piece. It was a fundraising, charity fundraiser that they were doing sort of as a way to give back to the community there, and it involved imprinting handprints and paw prints from children and pets, and the owners would buy a tile, which I created the raw tiles, and then I glazed them, put the names on them, and tile set them into these apple slices that they had prepared down there.
Great. So Abby, thank you so much for inviting us up here. It's absolutely beautiful, and we just love your work. So thank you for showing us that and letting us into your studio.
Well, it's been my pleasure having you up here today, Kim, and just wanted to let you know that I love working with customers and clients, and always happy to do special one-on-one commissions, and people, I'm very accessible. People can give me a call, and
okay. Well, that's great to hear. So if something's not on the website, you can work with them to their certain ideas that they have about what they want.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay. Well, good to know. Well, thanks again, Abby.
Thank you, Kim.